everyone, in today's video we are talking about how to have a smooth transition from the residential world into the commercial world. How to go from a residential agent to a commercial real estate agent. In today's video, I'm gonna break it down for you, keep it super simple, let's rock and roll. And it starts with don't make the following mistakes, okay? Because a lot of real estate agents make a lot of mistakes, and I wanna make sure you avoid the following, which will make your transition infinitely easier. Mistake number one, some real estate agents that go from residential to commercial, big mistake is that they stop prospecting for residential whatsoever. And it's like, let's be super clear for a second. If you're already making 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, or whatever $1,000 you're making in the residential world, and you want to eventually become a commercial real estate agent, I want to be super clear with you. Never stop making money where you are at. Some people stop prospecting for residential deals, even though they're making 50, 100, whatever $1,000 per year that they're making, and then they start prospecting for commercial deals, right? So they stop doing what's working and already making the money. And then they start trying to do something that has not made the money yet. Think about how silly this would be. It's like, oh, I'm making 50 or 100 or whatever $1,000 per year, and let's just shut it off the machine. That doesn't make any sense. So what happens is you should slowly start integrating the commercial world into your business, because you don't want to stop the machine that's printing the money. You just want to add into that machine something else that can slowly print more money. And the second mistake that real estate agents make is that they just don't make calls. So if you right now are generating a majority of your business from referrals, let's say you've never picked up the phone to cold call or even make a lot more warm calls, right? You're just kind of twiddling your thumbs and waiting for people to refer you business. Let's be super clear. If you're not going to make phone calls, it's going to be a really long time before you start closing some commercial real estate transactions. I recommend that you pick up the phone. Mistake number three is that residential agents who are slowly building into the commercial world, they just keep taking every listing they possibly can. So I've seen this before where a residential agent who's never sold any type of commercial property, and I'm talking about businesses or just investment deals in general, what happens is that they get somebody who goes like, oh yeah, you know, I have a little strip center. Why don't you put it on the market? I want $2 million. It's only worth $1.5 million, but or they don't know how to invest. You know, they don't know how to run numbers. What ends up happening is that this residential agent lists a retail deal for $2 million when it's 20, 30, 40% overpriced, whatever it is, and then that property just sits on the market, and then the real estate agent's like wondering why they didn't sell it, or they're getting a lot of questions and they don't even understand how to answer the certain questions they're getting from the other commercial real estate agent. The big thing here is it's not just about the listing game. You need to know the name of the game, so you're not just listing for listing's sake, but you're actually taking listings to make sure you sell them. Another mistake that real estate agents make is that they don't have any investors that they're currently working with. They're terrified to make calls, or they sometimes make calls and they don't know, they all of a sudden get a deal and they're like, I don't know what to do with this property because I don't have anybody to sell it to. And then, you know, Henry's saying that, you know, you shouldn't list any properties for sale. I want to be super clear with you for a second. You need to work the game to find great deals, okay? That's what this whole game is about. Now that you found a great deal, kudos to you. Just because you don't have any investors right now doesn't mean you can't make any money. I mean, think about how simple it could be when you call around all the neighboring properties to the property of 123 Main Street as an example, and you call it 124 Main Street, 122 Main Street, and all the other properties that are local, and you say, hey, John, I see you own a strip center here in town, and I actually found a very similar property to yours. Your property's 10,000 square feet. This property's 8,000 square feet. It has this many stores, just similar to yours. You're bringing up all the similarities and be like, hey, John, so I'm just curious. Would you be open to buying another property just like yours in town? Yeah, I would. Okay, great. Here you go. You can really easily find investors if you find great deals. And the fifth mistake that I see real estate agents make is that they do not know how to value properties. So what happens is that they get a lead. So you're prospecting like you should. Kudos to you. Pat you on the back. But what happens is you get a property and you don't know how to make an offer because you don't know how to underwrite properties, which by the way, you can go in the description down below and check out our new underwriting spreadsheet so you can actually start understanding how to value properties, or you can check out any of the videos of how to underwrite a property right here. Make sure you learn how to underwrite properties. You know, you're just like, I don't even understand how to pull comps or how to value these types of properties, so you just kind of skip over that step and you never get to the next point. Let's dive into the next things that you can do to enhance your success. Now let's talk about how to get started. Well, you need a few softwares. In order to transition in the commercial world, just like you need the MLS in order to be successful on the residential side, instead of like a normal MLS in the commercial world, we use one of two different softwares, CoStar and Reonomy. I'm a huge fan of Reonomy just because we don't really list any properties for sale. It's the main software, and it's obviously also way cheaper when you look into the pricing. So also, if you're looking for even more discounted pricing off of Reonomy, make sure you reach out to my team. I'll go in the description down below to check out a phone call here, because we actually have a partnership with them where we can offer you Reonomy at a slight discount. So make sure you check that out. We would love to be able to support you with that. You need Reonomy, if not CoStar as well, but Reonomy at a bare minimum. You need a dialer and you need a CRM system. Dialers that we use something called mojosells.com. You can check that software out. They don't have any affiliates, not trying to sell you anything there. It's a great software, go check it out. The only other software I recommend when it comes to CRM systems, if you're not gonna just use the one that your company provides you, because it really does not matter. The point is, use a CRM system. Whatever you like to use, just use it. Start there. You can start with a cheap one, and then you can get into more expensive ones. You can start with a residential CRM. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. So you can just look at any residential CRM system. You can look up Rivity, you can look up Follow Up Boss, you can look up several other different softwares. We use a software called REI Reply, and we use a software called Follow Up Boss. So those are the two favorite softwares we like to use, just because I feel like residential softwares have really figured it out, and we're about to, we'll probably transition into something like Salesforce within the next somewhere between 6 months and 12 months, depending on how large the sales team gets. So that's what we're going to be looking for. But just start cheap, right? Start cheap, and then you can slowly build into having larger and more expensive CRM systems that are a little bit more intricate, but you don't really need it. Point number 3, this is a process, guys. It's going to take some time for you to go from being a residential agent full-time to a full-time commercial real estate agent. And it's okay if you end up doing both. Totally normal. So I want you to know, but it is a process to start getting into the commercial world at a high level. What I would recommend is that 1 day a week, you slowly start prospecting for commercial deals. Or if you're prospecting for 3 hours a day on the residential side, you add an extra hour or 2 or 3 every day for commercial. So you're slowly adding it in. What I'd recommend is that it slowly is 20% of your prospecting at the beginning of your career. So 80% of the time you're prospecting for residential, 20% of the time you're prospecting for commercial, and as the commercial business starts to grow, this transitions. So all of a sudden, now you're doing 80% of the time commercial and 20% of the time you're doing residential until you have an opportunity where you say, I'm making too much money on the commercial side. I really could care less about another $7,000 commission check. You'll have options down the road. You don't have options right now. When you have a money machine that's printing, don't stop printing money with it. Point number 4, your brokerage matters. If you're at a residential brokerage only, and they only do residential deals, and you would like to be a part of the commercial world as well, maybe you don't want to just do commercial, you want to do both, right? Or maybe you do want to just do commercial by itself. The point is, your brokerage matters. You can't be at a residential only brokerage where there's no support on the commercial side, no mentorship on the commercial side. Nobody has anything to really provide you software-wise on the commercial side. And all of a sudden you're just like the only person at a small office or the only person at even in a large brokerage that's doing commercial. It's very hard to see success that way. What's going to be better for you is that you're a part of a brokerage that maybe does both, where you can figure it out over time, where you can continuously do the residential deals you're doing today and doing the commercial business that you'd like to eventually get into as well. If you feel like you're not at the right brokerage right now and you would like to scale up that commercial side and you don't feel like you have the right support, the right brokerage, the right mentorship, make sure you go in the description down below and check out how we can support you in doing so. Point number 5, work with a mentor or a partner agent. Now, it might not all be about the brokerage. In some instances, it doesn't really matter what brokerage you're at. In other instances, it really does matter what brokerage you're at because it's all about environment. What's important to note is that you should not be doing this transition alone, because when you're going from residential to commercial and you start getting some commercial deals, you might not know how to service that client at the highest level, which means you're going to miss out on simple commissions quite frequently. I've seen this a lot of times. So what I recommend is that you partner with a real estate agent who knows what they're talking about in the commercial world, and they can help you make money on each of one of these deals, and they're willing to offer you either a referral fee or they split the deal with you. The point is that you can work with a mentor or a partner agent like myself, where we are able to kind of coordinate things with you, do the deal with you, or do the deal for you in some instances. I have some people who are like, just take the deal. I don't really want to deal with it. I just want a referral fee. And obviously, if you're in the transition, you're going to want to know how that process is done. So you're going to want to be able to work with somebody who has experience in working with agents like yourself, where you can eventually work these deals together in collaboration. This way, not only are you going to make a little bit more money than a referral fee, but the point is you're going to get some experience. So eventually you can do it on your own. Make sure you can find somebody, whether it's at your office or anywhere else, where you can connect with somebody who can support you in this time where you're getting commercial deals, you just don't know what to do, and you want to be able to work with somebody who can help you take that deal to closing so you can make some bigger commission checks. And last but not least, the very, very important part is learning the game of commercial real estate. It takes time to learn the game, and they don't just teach this in real estate school. You need to know how to do the following few things. Number 1, find great off-market deals. Again, check out the videos right here that we have for you. Check those out, watch the videos over and over again, because the better you can be at finding great deals, the more money you will make in the business. Point number 2, learn how to negotiate. If you are not a great negotiator, you're going to hurt your chances of making great money in the commercial real estate world. It's a lot more focused on being a great negotiator in the commercial world than it is on the residential side. So if you're not a great negotiator now, we're going to be creating more content around negotiations. Make sure you watch out for that. And you can also go into the description down below and check out our free commercial real estate agent course. So not only is it about finding great deals and negotiating great deals, it's also about building your network. It's not about having thousands of investors. It's about working with just a few investors who know what what they're doing and want to buy a lot of product so that you can start closing a lot more business, because it's the investor world. It's all about working with investors at this point. So learn the game of how to work with investors, which comes from thinking like an investor first, and then as a real estate agent second. So as you can shift your mindset of thinking like an investor, which will allow you to find great deals and negotiate deals better, you're going to be able to thrive in the commercial real estate agent world. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have yet to check out the description with a bunch of our free tools and all the other ways that we can support you, make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.